Well, hey, YouTube, Grinder McGee back again with another video. I'm on a roll this week. After the disappointment of the Gerber Strong Arm yesterday, I decided to do a little more homework on the interweb, and I came up with this here Schrade, and we're going to unbox it for the first time right in front of the camera. I know some guys really like that. So here we got the silica gel, and do you guys know what this is? This is the Schrade SCHF42. This is a knife that's been compared quite a lot to the BK16, though it outweighs a little bit. I imagine it's in that same class there as the Gerber Strong Arm in terms of blade size and you know, kind of philosophy of use. Am I using a nut and fancy term? Shame on me. But anyway, here it is. It's got a pretty nice leather sheath on it. I don't really like leather belt sheaths that much. The sheath system, you know, on the Gerber was definitely far and above, but I don't want to make that a direct comparison since hopefully this knife is sharp. So let's pop it out and let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, immediately we got this. Uh-oh, there goes my lamp. Alright, here it is. This is an unusual knife in the fact that it's got a recurve. I typically don't shop for knives with recurve, but it's definitely got a nice little coating going on it, and it's almost got like one of these blind horse broomstick kind of handles going on. That's a really hand-filling handle. And what we got here is a 1095 high carbon made in Taiwan from Schrade SCHF42, if I can say it right. It's got Grivery handles. It's got, I think, a 4.8 inch blade and around 9.8 or 10 inches overall. Man, that feels pretty good in the hand. I still wish it didn't have that recurve in it. I still wish this was a straight bladed knife, and I'd probably just on the look alone like it a lot more. Another thing I noticed immediately is this jimping right here, which I'd rather just not have at all. I don't ever seem to need that, so I wish it just eliminated that. If it changed those two things about the knife aesthetically, you know, as far as what I shop for, I would like it really a whole lot right away. But I am noticing right on this knife already that oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It actually seems to be sharp. Wow. Man, smack a Gerber label on that and I'm buying it all day. And this knife is going for around 50 bucks right now, so it has some qualities of some other knives that you see that cost a lot more. So damn, since it's sharp, I guess we better cut something, huh? It's 3 minutes in. I better cut something already. So I got this kind of old warty tomato. Let's see if this 3/16 inch knife can actually cut something. Holy free holies! It actually does. Here, let me wipe off the blade just in case there's any of that residue still left on there. I got some other knives to compare it to after this, if it does favorably, or if it doesn't. I still have some knives to compare it to. You know, I'm not much of a survivalist out in the wilderness, so I do go camping. When I do go camping, I do like to do the primitive camping. I don't like to go car camping. I like to hike in and backpack in and do that. But so I'm going to do some of that this year. Maybe I'll take some knives in the camera with me. I don't know. I just want to see how this that's kind of cool. A 3/16 inch thick knife is going to sit here and cut tomatoes like that. My fault. Yeah. So you can see it's definitely sharp. So many kudos to Schrade for that, and I appreciate it so much when I can just get a damn knife and not have to immediately take it to the work sharp or what's that other thing that I use? It's kind of like an Edge Pro. It's like a Chinese rip-off of an Edge Pro. So there you go, man. It definitely can slice some fruit. I guess since I did the tomato, there's really no reason to sit up here and do any broccoli. But I want to eat some broccoli, so I'm gonna do some broccoli. See, it does all right. Yeah, I'll save that for in a minute. So we'll just boink. Usually I don't do it like that. Usually I sit here and I clip each one of the little florets. Anybody else like that? Does anybody? I mean, I don't know. Screw it. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just going to do this video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. So we're at 5 minutes right now. Let me brush some of this carnage off the screen here. See if I can get some of this. Then we're going to do some comparisons with some other knives. I do have, you know, so many knives. And I have been getting to where I like knives in this range better than like you know, a companion everyday carry kind of 3.5 inch range. If I was carrying a fixed blade, I kind of would rather carrying a 5-inch knife. So I got some other ones, you know, let's say for instance Spyderco Street Bowie and some other type of more tactical, more kind of self-defense geared as far as the styling of how they look. Of course, you know, some of those blades as well can just do an excellent job of performing utility tasks, but just the styling of them. Let's pick out a few more knives that kind of fit the styling of the Schrade here. Of course, you remember, and one of my favorites of all time, the Sog Northwest Ranger. Very comparable, except 1090 instead of 1095 high carbon. You know, this has a US 8 A blade steel, both made in Taiwan. This one's that. Of course, the US 8 A is Japanese steel. I really like it. I've never had any problems with it. Edge holding, resharpenability. I don't have this knife chip out too much, as long as I'm not doing anything crazy like trying to dig a hole in the woods with it. It's held up very, very well. I really like it. The only thing I don't understand on this knife is I don't understand what the hell that is. So if anybody knows out there, please leave a comment and tell me what the hell that is. All it does is just annoy the fuck out of my finger. Here's another one from Sog. Just so happens to be from Sog. I think it's discontinued now. It's called the Team Leader. This is a 5.5 inch blade, a US 8A again. They made it in a Duratec 20 CV right when it came out, and it was really expensive. But then they did another run of them in the AUS 8 A steel, and I really like this knife. It's surprisingly, and I don't see a lot of other people just really loving on this knife. I think it's probably because it's so thin. You know, the whole knife is very thin. I might do a kitchen review on this one. I don't know. Just depending on people's interest in it, I guess. But it definitely will slice that tomato and that broccoli and that carrots and the other stuff, as well as some cardboard and some different things. So the only thing I don't like about this knife is what is up with all this freaking crap all over it. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a soldier knife and stuff, but come on, man. You basically have to be wearing gloves to sit here and carve with this one, unless you're just doing those fine, delicate tasks like in the kitchen. Then you really wouldn't need to grip it so hard. But if you were like trying to whittle and do some survival camp stuff with it, you'd have to have a pair of gloves on, and this thing just eat your fingers alive. Just quit doing this. I mean, nobody's stabbing bad guys with this thing. Seriously, you know, even soldiers. I mean, of course, if you do have to stab a bad guy and you get covered in blood or whatever, you don't want to lose your grip on the knife. But I mean, look at all the shit that soldiers carry now, man. What's up with having to have the knife have all the freaking serrations on it? Don't let me get sidetracked by that. Here, I got another one. This is the one that gets compared most often to this, which it's definitely not in the same size and weight category, I can tell you. It looks so similar though, doesn't it? Let me just set them down here together. They look very similar, but just when you hold it in the hand, this one definitely has a slimmer profile in the grip, and this one has a much fuller grip. It still has this jimping, which I don't like it. I don't understand it. But on this one, it's a little less aggressive, so I definitely can deal with it. This knife is awesome, man. You know, but this one, not as sharp out of box. But it's still that is 1095 Crovan, I think, with the BK, with the Becker K-bar. But this knife is very awesome. Compares very favorably to this Schrade. And let me flash my Kydex on there. That's my own Kydex that I make for him. Inspired by Mike Sastry of River City Sheaths. He showed me some stuff. Here, let's get another one that's kind of in the same you know, it's kind of in the same category, but you know, okay, here's a Krupp stainless steel knife with a Scandi modified types, specialized Scandi grind, which, you know, I think it still fulfills the same role. It's a slicer, it's a woods carver, it could be a kitchen knife, and it just kind of has a little more tactical Air Force pilot survival knife look styling to it. But then here, once again, you've got a much thinner blade stock, where this one is 3/16, and you know, it did, with the full flat grind going all the way to the top, it did surprisingly well on that tomato. Here, let's pull out something that you know, not really in the same league. So now you can see from the BK16 now going to this SE4, you can really see that the Schrade SCHF42 just really kind of dwarfs a knife like this. Although in weight, I don't know. If I have my scale here pretty close, I'll tell you. Let's see if I can get it weighed out. Yeah, that's going to be an accurate weight. Let's do it again. I just don't know, you know, I don't know. 7.4 ounces on the SE. Wow, that's heavier than I thought it was. It definitely doesn't feel that heavy when you carry it. And here we go, 8.7 on the Schrade. So wow, in the weight class, they're actually within 1¼ ounces of each other. That's actually kind of surprising. I wonder how much of that weight is in those Grivery scales, honestly. I didn't think that the Grivery weighed that much, but maybe it's... Well, I don't know. Was that enough talky talk and slicey slice for you guys? I really like this knife. You know, initially I'm going to have to carry this around for a little while to see if I like it. I'm probably going to have to make a sheath for it if I do like it, because I don't like the leather belt hang sheath. But overall, definitely worth the money on this one. Not as pretty as that Gerber Strong Arm by a long shot, you know, more kind of, and I've said it before, the more something looks like a kitchen knife, really the better of an overall knife it is. And then everything else is fine-tuning. Like, you couldn't tell from looking at it this way that this knife is so thick, and I wouldn't have thought that it would have done so well slicing, but perhaps that's the recurve, and perhaps that's the full flat grind, but most likely it's a combination of everything. So I'm really surprised at how impressed I am by this knife, and still disappointed by the Gerber Strong Arm yesterday. I'll have to update you guys if they make that one right, but for around 50 bucks, you can't go wrong, man. Definitely got to go with it. That gets a big thumbs up from the Grinder Magoozy. Alright guys, remember to keep your skills sharp, but your steel much sharper. Peace.